Hey guys, Zach here from Mike'sOutdoors.com. I'm here today after a long layoff of doing videos to do another video in our tips series. Sorry I've been away, but I got a piece of junk HP computer that's been in a shop 4 times and it had to go back again, and it took me quite a while to get it back this time. So that's the reason why I haven't been able to finish this series out. So I'm going to try to get this series out and get it done without any further delays. Cross your fingers that the HP doesn't crash and burn again. But the video I'm doing today is I want to talk to you guys about food sources for your deer. One of the most important things that you can do as a hunter is find the food source that the deer in your area are going to eat. And it's going to range from a wide variety of things. So I'm not going to talk about the specific food sources, but you have to be able to find your food sources if you want to be a successful deer hunter. Pretty much any animal. You need to know a couple things. You need to know where they sleep. You need to know where they eat and how they get to where they sleep to where they eat. So we'll talk about the bedding area in another video. But finding the food sources sometimes in some terrains can be pretty tough. You know, not all of us are going to walk up or have hunting land that has a cornfield on it, or soybean field, or milo, or something like that. You know, or winter wheat. Not all of us are going to be able to put in food plots. Those are your obvious food sources. Are of course your agriculture fields, your row crops. Deer love those, and of course you have, you know, your man-made ones, food plots and stuff like that. Are going to be your obvious food sources. But there's a lot of food sources out there that are not so obvious, and when it comes even in early season around here, it'll pull. If you can get a white oak tree, or even a lot of the other oak trees, once they start falling, it'll pull them deer right off of some of them row crops. But so your obvious ones are pretty easy to find. You know what they are. A lot of oak trees, deer love nuts. If you're a deer hunter, you should know that. Deer love acorns. Deer love nuts. Deer love acorns. So any oak trees in your area that are producing are going to be a good area to be hunting in. There's a lot of other plants and stuff out there that are gonna attract deer and stuff like that. You know, honeysuckle and there's different things like that. They're gonna attract deer. And the best way to find this stuff, if you don't know how to go out and find an oak tree, is to go to your conservation department, your local agriculture extension office, which is usually in your county courthouse. And I was able to get this book right here from them. And this is 50 Common Trees of Missouri. And if you go into this thing, it tells you all kinds of different stuff about what these different trees are. And it's funny, this one right here is a Kentucky coffee tree. And we have this around here. And I've marked these pages. I never knew what this actual tree was called before, but I've seen these kind of banana-shaped seed pods that come off of here. A couple years ago, I seen deer coming to one of these trees late in season when these were on the ground and just black as could be, and these deer were flocking to this tree and they were eating these seed pods. I mean, they were just were absolutely flocking to the trees. I'm talking in January, December. So I had no idea that this was a food source till I saw the deer actually eating it, and I couldn't have identified one of these trees as a food source. But it shows me in this book, and it says right in here that wildlife uses food, pods and seeds. The deer eat the pods and seeds off of this thing. So it helps me to identify the Kentucky coffee tree. Same way with black cherry, I can identify that. And it tells me all this information, good information in here about these different kinds of trees. And it also helps me to differentiate between different types of oak trees. So I know deer around here love white oaks, and a deer will eat a white oak over a pin oak or a red oak or something like that anytime they can get it. So if I can go out in the spring and the summertime and find white oak trees that I know this is a white oak tree and I can identify it in this book, I know to keep an eye on that, and I know that, hey, that's going to be a really good potential food source come the fall, when as soon as those start dropping, I need to be over here and I need to be hunting it. So information from your local conservation department is gonna help you out. There's wildlife biologists in your area. You can talk to the people at the conservation department. You can talk to the people at your local colleges. Call them up, talk to the Ag Extension office. Go to the Ag Extension office at your courthouse, and you can talk to them, and they can tell you what the deer in your area are eating, and really talk to them about the food sources that are not so obvious, like this Kentucky coffee tree. I mean, if you've got one of these in your area, there's a potential late season food source, and I had a lot of luck hunting over that Kentucky coffee tree late in the year. So you can go and you can identify your obvious food sources. You can add food sources, you know, man-made food sources like food plots, of course, work real well. If you're in some states, you can add your own food source by taking corn out there and putting it down. But if you're in a state like Missouri that doesn't allow that kind of stuff, you're gonna have to go out and you're gonna have to find the food sources, and you're gonna have to find the best food sources in order to be at the right place at the right time. If every tree in if you have a stand of oaks, and I've seen it done dozens of times, and most of you guys will probably agree with me. If you've got a stand that's say 5 acres of just nothing but oak trees, and every one of those trees starts dropping acorns on the same day at the same time, the exact same moment they all hit the ground. If there's a white oak tree in the middle of that place and the deer know it, and they smell it and they know it's there, they'll walk past every one of them other oaks and feed under that white oak tree. So this is a helpful way, this book right here, of going out and identifying, hey, these are all pin oaks, these are all red oaks, and there's my white oak. And, you know, talk to your extension office and find honeysuckle and Kentucky coffee trees and things like that. And you find your food source, you find your bedding area. There's your 2 key points. You have your bedding area, you have your food source, and the deer have to travel between those 2 areas. So in another video, what we're going to do, I'm going to talk to you guys about how to find your bedding area. But those are your 2 key points. You can find those 2, then you can find your travel routes from there, and you can start making a game plan, and you should be able to put yourself in a position to kill a deer. So talk to your local Ag Extension office, talk to your conservation department, local wildlife biologists, and I would start with the conservation office, and they can point you in the right direction. Find the food sources, and you'll find the deer. For more product reviews, how-to videos, you can check us out at ikesoutdoors.com. Be sure to hit us up on Facebook as well and like the page there. Really appreciate the support on Facebook. And check us out. We really appreciate you guys watching these videos.